Alright, good evening heroes and heroines, and welcome to Practising Programming in C. I took a poll about half an hour ago. I started off. Let's see what the current state of the poll is. It's currently a tie. It's a tie of 0-0. So yeah, indeterminate, which is a shame, because that means that I might have to pick some music. Might have to actually actually exercise some decision making. Let's see. Some no scripts that updated it. Fine. Let's open up the previous day's thing. So yesterday. Oh, actually, yeah. So since yesterday, I did annotate last night's risky business, and then I sort of built that with the converter, and I wanted to do that just to check how the how a particular reference. I think both of these references actually. These ones here, the ones that are with David Patterson and John Hennessy as the author. Both of these ones have both of these guys as the author, and I wanted to see how the thing would actually deal with them. And as it turns out, the parser doesn't handle them both. I wanted to add it as two authors separately, but it just didn't like that at all. And then also you see down here, there's a null, and so this is a null title, or null page, I believe. So this is going to be the title of the site, or maybe it's called, maybe the actual parameter is site. Let's open that up. It's risky 18, isn't it? Yeah, right. So site and page. So this one here, it's got a site and URL, but there's no page. And the reason there's no page is that it was like the top of the tree, basically. So I'm gonna have to just quickly tweak this little thing here to only output the site if there's no page. So that's what I will start with, I think. But here we go. We've got to put some music. Like we can't just sit here with no music on, can we? Really? We can't listen to Kate Bush, unfortunately, because she's copyright. Discourse, Limbo, the Maker's Eden. So I listened to the Maker's Eden yesterday. I could put the Maker's Eden part 2 on. That could be okay. How long is that? That's 50 minutes, is it? Okay. Well, let's just leave that for now and let's just get some stuff going. So, edit HTML to HTML.c. Right. So here we go. We've got the refs for the div class refs, data timestamp. So here we go. If there's right, here we go. It's this thing here. It does the annotation index and the URL, and then for this bit, it checks if there's a page. Oh, right. I see. If there isn't a page, then it goes for author. This could be a bit smelly, actually. Oh no, I might have to do some... actual more logic than just the ternary thing. Hang on a minute, can I do multiple ternary tests inside a ternary test? Not exactly sure what would be a good reference for this, really. Takes 3 arguments. The arguments and result can be of different types. Many programming languages that use C-like syntax feature a ternary operator which defines a conditional expression. Since this operator is often the only existing ternary operator in the language, it is sometimes simply referred to as the ternary operator. In some languages, this operator is referred to as the conditional operator. Another example for a ternary operator is between, as used in SQL. Yeah, that's unfortunate. If there's a page, there we go. Oh, sorry. It's if there's a site, then we use the site. Otherwise, we use the author. If there's a page, then we use the page. Otherwise, we use the title. I wonder why. Oh, is it just... Yeah, I wonder why that was null, though. Because by rights... Oh, it's probably tried to set this to then be the thing, hasn't it? So if I were to just change this to be something... Oh, I can nest them. Ah, interesting. Okay. So I'll probably have to do that. Have to nest them. Over BG. Yeah, it's risky, isn't it? Risky 18. So see if this confirms my theory. Yeah, right. So yeah, I'm gonna have to nest. Ah, right, nice one. So I've got to pull the latest changes. This is exciting. Marker text. Right, cool. So here we go. CD. Oh, actually, I think I kept it just in here, I believe. Does it want to pull? Asking. Alright, cool. So, in order to build this, I'll just run make, don't I? Yeah. Then I need to copy hrmlib.h into HTML to HTML. And I need to copy the A file as well. HTML.a. Okay. To cut down the typing. HTML reference. Ah. Ah, interesting. So I was making a pointer to this thing. That's cool. Huh. Well, let me just do the substitution here. So it's marker.text. I wonder if that's going to pass the magic thing. Mark that marker. Pan not found, right. Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong whatnot, aren't I? Marker.text. Wait. Let me just see what happens. Things differ. No member name text. Markers, marker index dot text. Ah, I see, right. So what you're saying is I need to change this to be marker, I reckon. And then HTML to HTML. Okay, so that looks fine. And that was just for all markers. So I'd only made one change there. For the blackboard. Okay. Interesting. Well, that's kind of handy. And I think, yeah, everything else is going to be fine because this is just so I can pull out of the information. So that's okay. So now I need to do the thing, don't I? It's this little section here. So I can nest them. Int thing equals condition. Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. Equals condition. If condition is true, then if this condition is true, and if this condition is true, this is interesting. Actually, I'm not quite sure. I'm going to have to do a bit of playing around with this. Yeah. References dot I, plus I rather. Oh, I see. So then R site page, right. Interesting. So I guess I'd have to do that in here, maybe? It basically becomes if condition 1, if condition 2, A, else B. Ah, right. I see. So A is if both are true, else is if 1 is true and 2 is false, and C is if both are false. Or C is if 1 is false. Gosh, this is going to be interesting. So, yeah. I see, yeah, because references plus I, because this is indexing I there. Okay, let's see this. HTML reference. I mean, I know that I'm sort of, the point is to cut out because I'm typing, and this totally does, whereas this kind of partially does. So that is equal to blimey. Oh no. Sure, oh, didn't take enough stuff. Annotation index. What was it? References. You can keep reverse if you want. So plus I. Yeah, right. So current ref. So then if I delete up to... I don't think there's any quick way of doing this really. Current ref URL. Oops. So this is all the logic that I'm actually changing, isn't it? Which is just a nice way of doing this. It's up to there. Change current ref. And then... Will that work? No, of course it won't. Current ref. Author. Yeah, it's unfortunate that you can't do the dot while you're in visual mode. C2F. Change to... How are you working that out? C2F dot. Oh, I see, right. Oh, interesting. So you can go, oh, you can jump forward multiple dots. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I never knew that. Wow, cheers. That deserves a plus plus. Yeah, why did I never think that that would be possible? Because like everything else you can do is a count, so it kind of stands to reason. And why? Oh no, have I lost the ability to do that now? Oh, there's no... There aren't three things here. It's a different type of thing. That's cool. So yeah, just double check that that still builds. Watch it crash and burn, no. So right, so basically, here we go. The sense is if there's an author. Yeah, I think we need to swap these round. I want to say if there's an author, use the author. Otherwise, we want to see if there's a interesting. So yeah, right. Change and then do like a search to title. Ah. That's cool. Hang on a minute. So if I do change to title, can I then do this? No. Okay. Alright, let's see about this. So we've got current ref. Because the URL, yeah, the URL is always going to be the same. That's fine. So current ref author. if there is an author, then we use that. Otherwise, we question. Otherwise, we say, is there a page? Wait a minute. No, sorry, I'm getting the logic wrong here, aren't I? It was hang on. If condition thingamajig. If there's an author, then we want to test more. Right, I see. So it's like maybe I've got this. Maybe I did have it more correct before. If there's a site, because basically, can I show what this takes? A start with source and ref title. More of logic and this principle will be trivial. Source and ref title and write a function that takes a HTML reference and returns that struct. Oh, I see what you're saying. Takes a HTML reference. I see. Right, right. And then yeah, you just output the return value of those things. All right, let's try that then. So copy string to buffer. Time code to seconds. But might as well go here, maybe. Because I don't think we've done any more with that. So the struct will be returning the struct, won't it? Sorry, the function will be returning the struct. And it takes HTML reference, right? So we're going to type def struct, and the struct is going to contain a car source. And a car. So saying the source will be the top level thing, the source will be, and then the ref title will be that thing. Okay, so so this thing here is going to return a ref info. And it's going to take a HTML reference. Yeah. Called the reference. the ref input, I don't know. And this thing is going to pass ref, I don't know. Pass ref. So basically it takes it in and well, hang on, it just returns a ref info. So this doesn't have to be a pointer to it because I don't have to change this. Just gotta make sure that we return the actual ref info. So there's ref info in here. Is equal to, let's just null it for starters, to see if I'm actually thinking about this correctly. And then return the, oh hang on, it's not that at all. It's ref info, right. Right, and then it has to return the info. Okay. Good. So I think I'm understanding that correctly. Takes a HTML reference and returns that struct. So we're taking in the ref input. Which has all sorts of data. And then it's like, I see, yeah. So here's my stuff, isn't it? So if there is a ref input page, say, let's just see if that actually will let me, yeah, that kind of will work. Let me just see if just double check. Alright, cool. Just gotta check all this stuff. So, yeah, if so the source could end up being nothing, by the way. So that can start off as being nothing. Well, maybe not. I can just set that. So yeah, if there's an author, let's go with that, right? So if there's an author, then we want to say that the ref info, sorry, the info dot source, right? If there's an author, then the info dot source is equal to the ref inputs author, and the info dot ref title is equal to the ref input title, I believe I've called it. And then we want to return the info, right? Otherwise, we want to say, well, it's an if, else if the ref input, if there is a page, sorry, if there is a Yeah, if there's a page. If there is a page, then we say the info.source is equal to ref input site, and the info.ref title is equal to the ref input page, right? Otherwise, so if there's a page, then we do that, and then we return that guy. Otherwise, we say the info.source is equal to nothing, and the info.ref title is equal to the ref input site, and then we return the info, right? I think that's the logic that I'm after. So then what I want to do is find the place I was at before and remember what I actually called the thing. Parse ref. So I was down here. And then it was, this is just the result of parse ref, isn't it? Oh, hang on a minute. No, I probably need to pass this oh, hold on a second, because we've got the, what struct have we got going on here? References dot plus I. So it's the current ref. Oh yeah. So it's the current ref, isn't it? Oh, hang on a sec. So it's the result of current ref. That's weird. Why is that an incompatible type? It's supposed to take a HTML reference, isn't it? HTML reference. Let's double check what a HTML reference is. HTML reference is all this stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so that seems fine. Right. Ref input is that. So yeah, ref input can have an author. I mean, I could probably robustify all this lot as well, by the way. But I think this logic should get me going. I mean, yeah, I want... Tell you what, just before I do this actually, Let me just try and pass a ref. Oh, hang on a second. Because it's returning... another struct, so do I need... It's a car star, isn't it? Because that was the situation, wasn't it? Because it's trying to do... Yeah. Sorry. Let me just... If I just... Yeah. Surely I can just... Well, I need to put it into something, don't I? So... like... Print... Oh, hang on. Temp is equal to parse ref on the HTML, well, can I use the, well, I'm after that scope, I think, aren't I? So, HTML.annotations, annotation index, references. Wait, would that be, that is valid. Okay. So ref info temp. So basically, I would want to say temp.source would be equal to all that lot. Source, I don't know. Ah, that does work. Does it? Sure. Well, hang on. That doesn't. Okay. So temp source. So that is equal to parse ref. That's. Oh, hang on. So then that's all I have to do, isn't it? So it's parse ref. It's well, I mean, it's kind of this, isn't it? Which kind of does away with. Let's see if that builds. That does build. So how do I get this in? How do I use the other guy then? Am I even in the right area? Yeah, I think I am. So HTML, so current ref, right. So I just want to try and parse this ref. Right, I can do this, can't I? Current ref. It doesn't like that. That's weird. Yeah, I mean that is working. So let's just see. What was the other thing? Ref input. I can't remember what it was. Source. Ref title. Right. Yeah, ref title. It wants a HTML reference. Current ref is an HTML. Ah, right. How do I dereference a pointer? I star it, don't I? So yeah. Change 3 forward there. Current ref. Yeah, sure, because I need to pass that to the thing. Right. See, I'm still kind of I'm still learning how to use structs actually. That's line 242, doesn't like. So it's a sprint F, yeah. So, right. Current ref. Source. Doesn't like. There's no memory for this, is there? Is that what's happening? Do I need to pass as a buffer? And then, well, no. Well, could that be it? What buffers have I got available? So I'm writing into the working location. Working. Have I used the text yet? No, probably haven't, because here's the text. So I wonder if I could use the text. If that's even the problem. What's it saying? It's saying segv on unknown address in sanitizer. Address sanitizer cannot provide additional info. Yeah, I mean, it's possible that I just don't. It just doesn't have any space to do all this stuff. But I mean, let's just have a look. Parse ref. So this thing takes in one of these. I wonder if I'm supposed to take in a pointer to one of those. Even though I don't want to be manipulating this in particular. And then this can happen on the stack. Well, segv on unknown address. If there's a ref input author, and info source is that. Author and title. Else if there's a page, then we say very much doubt this will affect it, but yeah. So maybe, yeah. Maybe it just does need some memory to work in. In which case, let's just give it a buffer. Yeah, let's get the text. Just grab that for a second. What other ones have we got? Working it out, yeah. So yeah, if I just yank the text for now, and then just go full screen a sec. So I need it for here. Claim the buffer here. Why not? And then let's say, well, hang on a second. No, that would, no, because I don't want to actually be. Oh, sorry, yeah, I want to be passing that. I want to be passing the text to the current ref. That's what I want to be doing. And this thing is taking a car star. Oh, actually, it's actually an arena, isn't it? So it's a buffer. Buffer. So we want to say ref info is equal to buffer. Would that be at all correct? Oops. Don't know why it's crashing. Oh, that's unfortunate. Incompatible type for argument 2 of parse ref. Right. Invalid initializer. Can I just say this? No. It didn't like this either, did it? It is buffer is a pointer. Did you mean to use this? Oh, it says invalid initializer. Gosh. Because I'm trying to hear. All I'm trying to do is pass this buffer to parse ref, so that I can put this info on in the buffer. Right, incompatible type. So an info, or maybe I need to put each individual thing on the what's its face. But could that be at all correct? Info is not a pointer. It can't point to buffer. Ah. It's not a pointer, so it can't point to buffer. So we'll do a pointer to buffer. Info is a pointer. Did I mean to use that? The version before buffer got should have worked. Okay. Let me get rid of the buffer then. And we'll try and investigate actually what is actually going wrong. So this is all this is doing. It's taking a ref input value CGDBN. Alright. What's it? CGDB. Okay, so current ref. It's currently filled with this. So the site is equal to, the site is at this register, this memory location, and its context is RISC-V. Page is this. And I assume these are null terminated as well. I think the URL is there, and it's this p all the arguments is printf. Okay. So right, okay. Yeah. So we're looking for the annotation index, right? Is that current ref URL is equal to that? Yep, that seems fine. Current ref. Well, the value of, so yeah, doing this current ref dot source. That's RISC-V. Ref title is that. Okay. Ah, hang on a second. What's that doing here? What is this? How much memory do I have left in the buffer you're writing to? Well, I'm writing. I think I'm writing to the working buffer, aren't I? I've got a feeling this might be busted though. I don't need this. You know, because I've put all the logic that I need in thingamajig. Maybe that the arguments do not match the percentages. Yeah. I think that was the problem. Wow, that was it. Unfortunately, all this is happening down here now. But this is as I want it. Don't know why all that's spilling out there. Welcome into. Oh wow. So yeah, I'm obviously not nulling the thingamajig, right? Am I? Yeah. Right. Gosh. Oh, that's because I've moved the text, isn't it? So I was starting to use the text buffer. Right. Here we go. So that was down somewhere else, wasn't it? Let me just undo that actually. One put down, another takes its place. Yeah. Let me just see if I can find where that actually was. So I think, well, actually I can just look for text, can't I, where I first use it. So it's there. So I need it up here, don't I? Or did I make it there? There we go. Where is this now? So this is within the annotations. Ah, okay. So while we're looping through the annotations, we start looping in, and for each annotation, you want to keep claiming and freeing the buffer. That sounds fine to me. Yeah, because it is per annotation that the text buffer actually operates. Yeah. So that's cool. We've actually managed to fix that. How long did that take? Was that 50 minutes? Gosh, yeah, that was 50 minutes. That's unfortunate. An unfortunately long time. Yeah. So, right, I'm just going to take a quick couple of minutes break and then make a start on the actual thing that I wanted to do. Okay. Let's pop on some Soul Eye. This is a mere 34 minutes 34 seconds. So, yeah, if I manage to do this within the time, that would be kind of what Mike Acton wanted, actually. Except I'm still not going to throw it away, obviously. So the idea here is that I'm going to be looping over all of the refs and all of the markers per annotation and sort of process them all. That's essentially the idea. So yeah, I had a test one, didn't I? That kind of gave us some stuff to deal with. Yeah, site page, so that's still as it was. Coloured nicks, so it's a bit more than a coloured nicks, honestly. Some text referring to Zillaresco about this thing he saw in the news. So yeah, we've got Zillaresco as a member. So he's a marker. He's a HTML member marker. that's a reference, and then the news, I believe, is a category. The only thing we're missing here is projects. So yeah, if this thing contains a user, we don't need to do anything about the style of the text node, of the annotation as a whole. Likewise for references, and we wouldn't have to do for projects either. The only thing that we would have to do something up front for is the category. Actually, hang on a minute. Well, it's if it's Blackboard. It's if it's certain categories. So there is some stuff up front that we'll have to do. And when I say up front, I mean stuff in this area here. Up to here. Up to here, isn't it? Oh, actually, is it? Might be up to here. Let me just get on with the Blackboard. So yeah, Blackboard. So yeah, so there are some things that we need to do some processing up front in this area here. So this contains stuff like the medium category, so that's like Blackboard and Run, and also references. So they need to happen up front. Let's make a bit of a note of this. So happen up front. Medium categories. And then we're going to have references, i.e. the data ref. Happen in the text is going to be HTML member, HTML project, yeah, I don't need to style the actual category in the text itself, I don't think. So what that would mean would be like yeah, memory map register. So say like if that was tagged as a category, I don't think I need to style this, but I could do, maybe. It would probably happen around the same time that I do these guys. Yeah. And then we've got categories, as in like topic categories. E.g. rendering, memory, media. And the references as well. Right. So the references happen in both places. The categories can happen in both places too. but the markers only happen in the text. Is that right? I mean, it's possible that you'd want to apply the individual category styles to the actual marker. Because one of the things I'm thinking of using the categories for is for filtering. So actually, yeah, I'm thinking of using quite a lot of it for filtering, like the categories and the is authored thing, or whatever it is. I think we saw one within insofar, didn't we? Somewhere, didn't we? No. Yeah, authored. So yeah, I'm putting that in the marker part. If a marker, if an annotation refers to a person, would we care about wanting to filter that per se? I kind of feel like we wouldn't. I mean, the reason I've used this authored class is so that I can style it with italics. But I can also foresee things like if somebody wants to filter all the annotations down to either just the annotations that had an author. So if they're only interested in the Q&A, they can like tick only show me the authored ones. Or if they're not interested in the Q&A, they can say don't show me the authored ones. Oh, hang on a minute. You can also do things like, you can also do select like parent of a, yeah, here we go, Asaf. Could I use a selector that says, that picks the marker that is the parent of an element that has a particular class. So, for example, if I were to mark up this, and it was like a span class member, so it's not an author like this is, and it's not authored in that sense. It's not supposed to be styled or whatever. But if I was to say that this was a span class member, could I use that information to actually select this this marker, this div class marker? You can't do that to there's no parent tab selector. Okay. Okay, so I suppose I'd have to make the decision, wouldn't I? Because like what I'm thinking is like, if I don't, well, what I'm thinking actually is that I could use the classes of this div to filter stuff out, basically. So it would, what I'm thinking of filtering being is just like hiding these timestamps, but also maybe like making it so that they get skipped. So if you've got multiple time codes, I've got a thing open. There's no limit to the number of classic component elements. Yeah, right. So maybe it would be maybe there'd be nothing to lose by marking this guy up as having members mentioned. But yeah, what I was saying was like, oh yeah, I was going to build the thing, wasn't I? If, for example, so here we've got a few Blackboard sessions. I'm thinking that the filter thing will have like Blackboard as one of the options, and if you deselect it, these guys will all be kind of hidden, you know, when we display them, as possibly like squash them down or hide them and just replace them with a little some kind of indicator just to say that that there's some filtered out stuff there. But yeah, if they are filtered, then the other part of it would be, as well as hiding these guys, I'm thinking maybe it could actually skip them. So when the player gets to 0.51, it just jumps to 903. So it's kind of similar to your idea about skipping silence. So yeah, I mean the question kind of there is, in order to do that filtering, would applying a class to this div be an appropriate way of doing that? Can input the skips ready with data ref? Oh yeah, because like data ref, yeah, these are just incrementing up, aren't they? 8, 10, where this would be 9. That was 0. Oh. In on ref change, you can do something like, if ref is equal to skip, play just next marker. Right, interesting. That sounds perfect, actually. Yeah, I think that does sound perfect. I mean, I suppose actually maybe I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here, because I was only really hoping to do the styling stuff. I was hoping to like do the filtering a bit later. So you can apply skip. You can just apply the skip class to something when certain conditions are met. How about in JavaScript? Can you you can refer to parents of in JavaScript, can't you? Because like what I'm thinking is, let's just say for example that let's just say that this annotation here, let's just say for example that this annotation is marked up as memory, so it's categorized as memory and hardware, right? So these guys, well actually, I'll tell you what, let me actually mock it up. I'm going to mock this thing up. Right. Because I have looked into how to a way to do this, which seems like it could work. And also let's actually use the test one just so it's a bit smaller. Right. So there we go. He's showing the news. So this whole thing here is going to be, this is the text, right? And then here I'm thinking of having like a div class, categories, right? And then within this div, it's just going to be a bunch of divs that are also class like rendering. So these are just empty divs. Well, what did I say? It's going to be memory and hardware, wasn't it? Div class categories, div class memory, closing, and then that, and then closing for that. Yeah, right. I think that's what I'm talking about. So then, if I just yank all of this, right, and then in my CSS. So what was it? Categories and memory. Categories and memory and hardware. Right. I just need to find a way to actually refer to these. So going to be marker, content, categories, I believe. Let's just say for now right. So does that put anything anywhere? There is apparently something there. Inherited from div. Let's just make a new style. Add a new rule. Categories. Inherited from div, okay. Maybe that's all I need then. Okay. It doesn't like 8 pixels. Why doesn't it like that? Oh. There we go. Right. So it just needs to be categories there. I'll type in a class name. Ah, yeah. Right, so then I need to just find, I think it says categories, memory hardware. So that works. What am I not doing right there? Marker authored. Marker content. Categories. That should select it, shouldn't it? Oh, it does. Right, okay. So then, right. And I want to say marker.content. Categories. And then within that it's going to be category. And I also need to apply that to these guys. So this is going to be a category. Right. And also with memory. I think this is what I need. Maybe I don't. You could correct me if I don't need all of this stuff. But basically the category within that will then be its border is 1 pixel. Border radius is 50%. Yeah, I think that's all I need. Oh no, and then the width is equal to 4 pixels, say. And the height is that. Right, so this isn't going to have any content. I just needed to put that in so I could see. Now what? I suppose I haven't coloured them, is that the problem? Category memory. Difficult, so we've got categories here. Market content categories. Have I spelled this right? Category memory. So inherited from div is that. Add a new rule. So category.memory is what it wants. What have I done? You do need the space. Oh, hang on a second. Yeah, right, I can't be actually clamping that, can I? How did I do this again? Categories. I think the reason I wanted the categories div was so that I could position it. So let's just say, oh, and also to position these guys within it. So I think it was something like flex is this flex grow is 1. Oh, sorry, it's display flex, right? Display flex, and then the flex direction is, let's say, column. Is this at all right? Still not seeing anything, but let us just make one of these, or let's just say category memory. Right, border color is equal to that. And the background is equal to that. Right, okay, cool. Wow. A bit smaller than I was thinking. So if I just do the same for rendering, and just pick a different colour. Was it rendering? Oh no, it was keep using rendering, no, it's hardware, wasn't it? Yeah, right. So yeah, I want these guys, so I said flex direction column did that, so let's try row then. Right. And then I want some sort of space in between them. Basically, a flex button might be overkill. But if I would display inline block for the category. Okay. Yeah, I think that does look where I'd want it. Although I will want it styled somewhere. But basically the general idea is that there'll be these little dots in each annotation. corresponding to the category that it's marked up with, right? So if I've got this in here, if a thing contains the categories, the way that I'm thinking the filtering could occur is that when you select the well, so that when you open the annotations and they all default to being on, right? When you go to the filter, if you click it or interact with it in some way to disable it, this this div class will change to be off, basically. So it would have, like, the background would be 0. It'd be transparent, rather. So say like somebody didn't want to see anything about hardware, they would just turn that off, and unfortunately there's no border colour. Okay, I'm gonna have to play around with that, but basically the idea is it would still show like an empty circle. But then in terms of actually the functional part of it, if they only disabled the hardware, wasn't it? If they only disabled the hardware, the annotation would still be visible because the memory category is still selected, right? But then if the memory category was to be deselected as well, then we'd want the entire timecode to be skipped, basically. So we'd want to apply the skip class to this guy. Does that make any sense at all? And does that sound like it would be possible to do? And also, I mean, what do you think of the idea in general? Like, do you think it's worthwhile being able to filter stuff on the player page? Because I can definitely see value in filtering the whole list of videos with annotations. But I just sort of thought, you know, since we would have that, might we as well just apply it to the video as well? Better grabbing cat memory, cat hardware classes to the marker. To the marker. Ah, interesting. Okay. That's interesting. So yeah, you're saying to add them here, right? So that means I need to adjust my thing, doesn't it? What was it? Notes. So the topic categories also have to happen up front, because the upfront stuff is in the it's in the markers. It's in this area here, right? So you want to add cat memory, cat hardware. Filtering would depend on the style of the streamer and the content. If each video focuses more or less on a single category, people won't filter. Yeah, true. Yeah, because like, yeah, risky business, for example, is very focused on one topic. Whereas something like OBBG, with like the 9-hour streams, you know, he can go like through a bunch of different topics. Yeah. Hmm. And also Casey is quite focused, isn't he? Suppose then, like, Q&A, like if people are bothered. Yeah, but then I suppose, like, you know, if they just want to, if people just want to look at the Q&A, then they might just be fine with just scrolling down to the bottom. Although, if like, could do proof of concept, should be hard to implement the skipping. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and using the ref, the data ref, to do that would be totally plausible. Okay, so you're saying that rather than doing this, oh, hang on a minute. If we, you just need to add a data ref skip to some marks and have a flag in JavaScript to toggle skipping. Data ref. Ah, right. Data ref equals skip. Okay. I see. So yeah, if add a data ref skip to some markers. Yeah. So do you mean as in like skippable, really? So when I generate the page, it's like, you know, when I actually generate the page, the thing would already have like this part in it. Well, hang on a second. You need to add a data skip to some markers. No, you don't mean that, do you? You mean like you apply this when it's supposed to be skipped, don't you? Or maybe you don't. Yeah, I mean, my question was going to be like, if I were to do that, you know, putting the div class cat memory, cat hardware, etc. in here, how would I do the other part of it? Like, how would I, would I still have to create these guys separately? Basically, I couldn't I couldn't just use that. To create these. I mean, I suppose I couldn't, and I suppose it's similar to the references. So in a similar way to how this thing up here has the data f0, I also had to write this superscript 1 out as well. Does a visual thing. You need to set the markers. No, I wouldn't. No. can generate the markers with the data ref. You don't have to skip in on left change when you see it. I see. Gotcha. Yeah, because the filtering functionality would happen somewhere else. Maybe in one of these things up here. Probably one of those things up there, actually. Or something underneath, but I mean, it might even be cool if it's something that's right in line with this. You know, so just at the top of the list of annotations, it's just like a filter thing. Yeah. So yeah, so for the categories, all of that has to happen up front. The data ref part of the references has to happen up front. Well, hang on a second. Topic categories happen up front, and I was saying that the dots of visual thing, I wouldn't use them to select the markers. Right. Yeah. So I suppose, like, yeah, the question here is, if I've set the cat hardware and cat memory up here, so this is stuff that's happening up front, would I still have to do stuff in the text as well? Oh, and I think I did establish that I would, didn't I? I think I did realise that I would have to. Didn't I? I think. Yeah, I'll pop that down here, I think. Could be wrong about that, though. So yeah, that happens up front. And then the HTML member. Yeah, right, so yeah, that can just happen in the text as well. The cat memory will be information for the JavaScript code. You'd still need other stuff for visual. Right, gotcha. Alright, cool. Yeah. So yeah, the HTML member, that is stuff like Zilla Resco here. And I was sort of talking about not bothering using this for filtering purposes or for reference purposes or anything. You know what I've just remembered, actually? We need quotes. And they need to happen up front. Oh dear. Quotes need to happen up front. And then they're going to be the same as references, basically. So the idea of quotes, I'm thinking, is that they'll probably have a time code as well. And they'll have like their number and then the actual content of the quote. And then people can jump to the actual quote itself. Which kind of suggests that we will, if they're going to have that ability to jump to it, we're going to need some way of actually identifying it. Oh, I could just use superscript letters for those, couldn't I? I think I would do that. Right. I think I'm going to do that. I just, yeah. So, the quote's going to be the same as the references. LMNOP So the quotes, and this is going to be also the data ref. And this is going to be superscript lettering. Right. So we could remember, we said we're not going to use that for filtering. Project as well, we're not going to use for filtering. So these guys are just going to be the hoverable text boxes. Hover boxes, I don't know what they're called. Okay, I'm getting a better picture as to what's supposed to be going on here, I think. Topic categories. So yeah, we're saying cat this. Oh, the categories is the dots, yeah. Yeah, let's just jump back to the code. I probably will actually close the stream quite soon, actually. I mean, I know I haven't done much at all. I haven't done anything really, because I haven't really, I had to fix that bug, didn't I? Or, yeah, I had to fix the referencing. If I just jump back to here. So the stuff that's happening up front to the medium categories, topic category. So it's all of the categories stuff. Quotes and references. And the stuff that happens up front goes into the working buffer, doesn't it? So the first thing is, see if it's well formed, we get our buffer, and then we start to pop stuff in there. Refs. Oh, yeah, although, yeah, I mean the refs, they just get built, don't they? So for each annotation, they go over it loops over the refs first to build all the title, basically. And then after it's built the title and got the player open, this is where we're doing like the so-called like upfront bit. So we've got marker, potentially authors, potentially blackboard. so it's like after writing out the marker, I feel like the loop is going to start here. We need to go over the references and the quotes and the categories. So if it's a HTML category, I think that's what they're called, aren't they? Yeah, HTML category. I've got the marker count there. And then while we're going over the category, we can start filling up. Oh, hang on a minute. No, we probably can't, can we? Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, maybe we could do. Could start filling that up. Although, text. The text would have to. No, I think we will have to. We will want to have written out everything that we need to do before doing our div class categories. So yeah, that means that happens last. The happen in the text. Oh, there's also the author, isn't there? Why am I forgetting so much stuff? Right, the author happens first in the text. These lot can happen anywhere. So yeah, the author has to go first. Let's just put that like that. And then we've got these guys which can happen anywhere. And then finally the topic categories. Oh, hang on a second. The quotes. The references can happen anywhere. The quotes. The quotes, actually, they're usually associated with the entire annotation. Because I don't usually have... I don't think I would ever have more than one quote in an annotation. So maybe that actually, maybe that could end up looking like the author. Do some stuff. Unless maybe we just sort of straight up say that the quote will just always end up being indicated at the end of the time code. In which case that would happen kind of like that. So the categories are fine. And also, these guys can happen in any order, I think. Oh, maybe not actually. Yeah, we want the class first. Yeah, we want to have gone through all of the classes first. Then potentially the timestamp maybe. And then do the data refs. So we want the classes first, which is these guys. And then these separately. I think that sounds reasonable. Oh, so that's going to sleep. Thanks so much. Hope we have a good sleep, dude. And cheers for all your help again. So HTML category. There is... Oh yeah, oh gosh, yeah, the topic categories actually happens right at the bottom. So yeah, actually maybe... maybe I should do the class after everything else. So that then we're all in the same place for doing this when we get to it, maybe. I mean, the only reason I'm doing all this kind of planning is because I'd like to try and keep my buffer usage to a minimum. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to at least need a buffer for doing the upfront stuff and a buffer for doing the happen in the text stuff. And basically what I'm thinking would be quite nice is if I could potentially sort of populate these guys kind of interleaved, if that makes sense. So you can just continuously write into each buffer and you've got the right stuff in there at the right point. It's kind of interesting that the author happens before the references start. The references only has to start down at the bottom of there. In fact, this seems like a nice way that it's laid out here, because it's like I can start to populate the text box with the author and then start to go through the HTML, the markers for the member in the project. And then once those guys are dealt with, I can then look through... Well, hang on, it's not quite that, is it? Because I need to then go back to the categories. I need to go back to the markers for these guys, for the HTML category, which happens down here. So that's okay, I think, because that happens with this lot. I just have to go back into this loop and look for them all. Look for the ones that are a HTML category. then, like I say, like the references, you then look into the references and start to write those out. Well, you also start to write that into the working buffer. And then once both of these buffers are filled, you write them out, one after the other, into the out buffer. I think that seems like a reasonable plan. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm going to close it there. How long have I been? Oh, it's been 2 hours. Okay, so that's like a substantially enough stream, I think. Although I didn't really do very much. I think I'm going to call it here, and then come back probably on Monday. I think I'll take Sunday off. And then try and actually do this stuff. It's probably worthwhile I did all this actually, because otherwise I would have been encountering all sorts of stuff that I kind of hadn't anticipated. You know, stuff like going out of order and, you know. I think I've covered everything though. I mean, the time code obviously has to be written out first, but I mean, that's part of the upfront bit. Yeah, let's actually put that in as well. So, references, quotes, and the time code. Although, yeah, because you don't need to loop over that. That can happen anywhere, I think. You don't need to loop over the quote either, really, but... yeah, let's pop time code in here. Or timestamp. Oh, sorry, yeah, timestamp. But yeah, like I say, the data timestamp and the data ref and the quote ref will all be the same thing. I mean, they'll all be in the same sprintf call, won't they? Where are we? Timestamp data ref and quote ref. They'll all be in the same call. References, data ref. Oh, there are two of them, aren't there? So yeah, we need to loop over the data ref. I suppose the unfortunate thing about Well, maybe not actually. Because the unfortunate thing about having the quotes be a superscript letter is that they don't refer, like it's got nothing to do with the quote number. But I mean, it wouldn't anyway. And I don't think it could either. Oh, hang on a second. The ref indices. Yeah, right. We also had this stuff happening previously. Yeah, the rest container and the quotes container when it's there. Oh God, those guys need to happen up front. Rest and quotes, they happen there. Where's the references later? Well, yeah. We need that before we. How am I doing that at the moment? Am I just doing it in a separate loop or something? So while there's an annotation count, here we are first of all doing the absolutes. The absolute first thing that absolutely has to happen. And then yeah, here we're doing the title. We say while there's an annotation count, if it does that for annotation index. Ah, right. Yeah. So I'm looping over the annotations twice. And I'm also looping over them in different ways, which is kind of funny. Because this one is just a while. And then this one down here is a for loop. Wonder why. While that is less than the count, so it's the same test. Interesting. Yeah, this thing. Like, why isn't that just a for loop? I wonder. Because you just always just incrementing in thingamajig at the end. Oh, you can increment it here. I see. Why can you do that? Oh, mind you. Well, I mean, this must be correct, mustn't it? For annotation reference. Increase the ref index, and then we bump up the annotation index while the annotation counts. What's this loop all about? Hang on a second. How many times are we looping over the annotation index here? Well, the annotation index is less the annotation count. There's this loop here, and then there's another loop through it. That's just madness, isn't it? Gosh. Yeah, I might have to take a bit of a close look at all of this just to see exactly what's going on. But not today though, because I'm ready to gather supper, basically. Let's see. No activity. What's happening with all that? Oh, did I just enable the thing? Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's all for today, I think. But I think it was reasonably productive. You know, just kind of planning the way ahead. And I don't feel like this was like. I don't think this was like a top-down approach. You know, in the sense of figuring out what structs need to contain what, or what classes need to contain what. You know, I'm sort of really sussing out the order in which I'm going to process this stuff. But yeah, let's just push this stuff and then we can call it. So the only thing I did today was introduce parsref. Parsref source style. Yeah. So it's just the machine. Oh right, yeah, it's out. And the style, yeah, it starts to introduce the categories, I think. So yeah. Let's just pop the style back to be the same colour. Yeah, and then let's push it. So add HTML to html.c and style.css. I think that was all I need to push. So git commit. Oh, it's the new HTML lib as well. Yeah. And yeah, good job I spotted that. So I don't need to commit out, I don't think. HTML to HTML. Sanitize the refs menu. I don't know. What would be the number for that, I wonder? Annotation system. Oh yeah, and it's never going to save it, is it? It's never going to save the path because I'm always in the private browsing. So yeah, it's just going to be references, books and libraries 15. Also update HTML lib, and the update was for giving me the, well, let's have a look at it actually. Yeah, adding the marker parameter. Okay. Page will loop for the new marker after. Yep. Okay. That sounds good to me. So, yeah. Push. Before I kick up any more, I'll just bring the stream to a close. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks for being heroic and magnificent and wonderful. And yeah, just generally awesome. Get push. Do I need to do anything more? I don't think I do. There's no issues to close. So yeah, that is all. Farewell for now.